For those who don't know, I'm Joe White from Behind the Curtain, and we are here. We are at an actual theater rehearsing a play, The Viewing Room, coming up in September 23rd, 24th, and 25th. And we're going a second week, October 1st and 2nd, here at Marconi's Theater at the VFW. We are so excited. We've been doing Zoom rehearsals for probably way too long, right guys? 6-7 weeks? Yeah, a lot of shaking of the heads over there. And we're going to interview a few cast members tonight of the show, The Viewing Room, and we're going to give you a behind-the-scenes look at some of the rehearsals that are going on without giving away too much of the plot. And we want you all to come out here. A couple of other quick things I want to mention that we're doing. October 20th, we're releasing and premiering our film called Tommy and Michael, starring Jerry Halfhide and Larry Loring. And in December, we're going to be doing a Dashing Through the Snow, our first Christmas holiday show, December 16th, 17th, and 18th, also here at the Ashland VFW Marconi's Theater. So go to our website. It's all out there, all the ticket information. We will be streaming the film. If you can't make it the night of the 20th, we'll be streaming it for 2 to 3 weeks afterwards. It's a short film. It's a very good film. I'm very proud of it. It's in conjunction with our friends at WACA, and looking forward to seeing everybody back out to the theater, seeing live performances, seeing films, and getting back out and enjoying themselves. But we're going to interview some more people in a little bit, and then we're going to do some rehearsals. So Larry, come on over here, sir. Larry Loring, who plays the patriarch of this family.
Indeed.
You play Chester Dombrowski.
Giving the lie to the old adage that dead men tell no tales.
So what does that mean? I don't understand, but I see what you're saying. But it goes very quickly. Chester, it's his wake.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So one of the reasons we hired Larry was because Larry plays the dead man, and he's already off book because he's got no lines and he's got nothing to say. But if Chester were to come back or something, what do you think Chester would want to be doing when he came back?
Well, Chester would probably want to make amends with his family. He struggled when he was alive, just trying to put all things together. And it was dreadfully misunderstood, I'm sure.
And he's a very good man. I like Chester, but
Yeah.
I like him better when he's laying there not saying much.
True enough.
Yeah,
True enough.
because that's one of my favorite parts about him. So not only are you in this wonderful play that we talked about, you're also in the film now named Tommy and Michael, that you work with Jerry Halfhide, myself, and the great author Tom Astro. What was your experience like doing that film?
Well, that was some of the most fun I think I've ever had in theater or film, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Tell me about that.
Well, working with Jerry, I didn't know him well before we started, but I got to know him well. We played good friends in the film, and we became closer and closer and closer, and it just became a natural thing when we finally got to filming, following the practices and all that, the rehearsals. But we became good friends.
I mean, it's great. Both of you have been fantastic to work with. I mean, looking at the footage and seeing it all come together, I'll be very happy. Once again, that film, Tommy and Michael, will be October 20th at the VFW. Check out the Ashland Community Theater website for more information on how you can come see that, or if you can't make it that night, how you can stream the film. Thank you very much for being part of both projects, sir. Looking forward to working with you, sir. Thank you very much.
Some of you feel that I was somehow lacking as a parent.
Oh, now what?
Or as a husband.
Now I was going to make this day all about him.
I had hoped that when my earthly days were through, you'd appreciate the many sacrifices that I've made for you.
Will I have to return my Mercedes?
However, it appears that my actions and behaviors have been misunderstood.
Last night was much better voice-wise for everybody for the most part. I think you could always be a little bit louder, except for Will. I think you're probably where you need to be. You're at the apex of your.
I could go louder, Joe.
I know you can, but it sounds like you're shouting.
Yeah, John.
The volume of my voice.
Yeah, Will, don't. I can't turn these hearing aids down anymore.
So Will, I'm going to interview you guys. So where are you going?
I forgot my pen.
No, you don't need a pen to talk.
Oh, okay.
So come over here for a second. Well, I can do the closing later or the opening later.
Huge cast
So who are you?
Hi,
Who are you?
I am Will, and I am playing Matthew Dombrowski, the middleest Dombrowski child.
The middleist?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you like about Matthew, Will?
You know, he can be a little sarcastic, which it was hard to envelop that part of the role. But otherwise, you know, he's very relatable. He doesn't get along perfectly with everyone in his life, and he's, kind of put upon. And I think that, that's a very relatable situation to be in.
And how do you like to actually physically be on a stage as opposed to being on Zoom, which...
Oh man, well, there's fewer dogs and cats at the live rehearsals, but otherwise it's much better.
Fewer dogs and cats, yeah.
Fewer, yeah.
Yeah, see, we don't have a lot of dogs and cats at our rehearsals.
You should do bring your pet day sometime. I think that could work out really well.
I was thinking about that. We may do that next week. But you're not here next week. You're going to be going to Washington State.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
how are you? You going to Zoom in for the rehearsal?
Definitely, 100%. Definitely going to do that. From the beach. It'll be great.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on the team and on the stage. And looking forward to getting this show up on September 23rd, 24th, and 25th, October 1st and 2nd. And where is it going to be held?
It's going to be held right here.
At the Marconi's?
At the Marconi's Macaroni Theater, right here in downtown Ashland, Mass. 416 Prospect Lane.
Not even close. It's actually 311 Pleasant Street, but that's okay.
Yeah, VFW.
Yes,
Yeah.
excellent. Well, thank you very much, sir. I'll go back and go start rehearsing, and we're going to interview the next gentleman coming over here. Mr. Jay Hollerback, come over here, sir. Just quickly, I want to talk to you briefly. This is David Molarski, a man I don't recognize unless you're wearing a red shirt.
Well, no, I have red underwear.
You know something? Once again, too much information. When you bring things to the table, you
Well-
bring them with more things than I want you to bring.
You ask, and as a director, I have to respond to my director.
Well, listen, sir, how do you like being on stage,
I love it.
rehearsing?
I love it. I've missed it. The Zoom was wonderful, but being in physical space on the stage is the best. It really is. It's irreplaceable.
And what do you like about Jay Hollerback? And tell me in a couple of sentences, what is your best moment on stage, and what do you like about Jay?
I like that he's very serious about his job. And I like that he is constantly amazed at the unusualness of this family. They surprise him continually. Every time he walks in, it's like, what's happening this time? So I'm sure that as a funeral director of 20 or 30 years, he's pretty much seen it all. You could almost say it's like beating a dead horse, but I wouldn't say that.
No.
Normally I wouldn't. But this particular evening is certainly a festival of surprises for Jay,
Yeah.
and I can understand why he ends up dancing.
Well, David, thank you so much for being part of the show and also doing the quick interview. And get ready. We're going to be rehearsing scenes 5, 6, and 7 tonight.
Very good.
And we're really looking forward to it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
When you do that, right, we're going to emphasize that a little bit more with your shaking the hands, that thing you guys did earlier. So what was the actual movement? Right. So
Wax on.
yeah, wax on, wax off. So when you're saying that to him, get up. If you're standing up on it, but emphasize the shaking of the hands as not like shaking hands. You made a promise. We shook hands, and then and then I think what I want Chester to do would be like, well, that promise was made under duress. Like kind of give him back that. So give that a try. Chester, people, I'm deaf. I'm dead, not deaf.
People, I'm dead, not deaf.
You made a promise. We shook hands.
That promise was made under duress. I answered to a higher authority with a much grander purpose.
All right, let's give another cast member. Come on over here. The next cast member. Who wants to come over? All right. All right. So, yeah. But you got a Bob Maber coming. over here, sir. How you doing, my friend?
Doing great. How are you?
How you doing? So you are playing Stephen.
Correct.
In this play. So tell me a little bit about Stephen.
Stephen is the middle son who is always seeking his father's approval. And he tried to mold himself in his father's way, be the good son, blah, 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 played sports. Just never got that approval that he was always seeking from his father.
Yeah.
And that sort of motivates him in this play.
I know you came into the cast a little bit later, so thank you for coming in and helping us out
welcome.
when a cast member had another commitment to do. So I appreciate you stepping in. I know you've worked with us before.
Yes.
And how does it feel to be back on stage? I asked a few different people, and they all said they really don't like it. They want to go back to Zoom. So I just wonder how you feel about that.
It's sort of like riding a bicycle. You get on it and you remember how you're supposed to go, where you're supposed to do, and etc. So I enjoy being on stage quite a bit.
So you want to ride a bicycle on stage? Is that what I'm hearing you say? Come on.
Different play, Joe.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
this one is the viewing room.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think they allow motor.
Not going to allow motorbikes or bicycles or anything on there. Okay.
Not that I'm aware of, unless you write it in.
No, I'm not. Well, this one I get right in, but yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do
Okay,
something.
sounds great.
So looking forward to it. I know you're in our. Once again, we talked about you're in our December show
Dash
that we're
my
doing.
50th. Yeah.
What is it called?
Dashing Through the Snow. Yes.
And who's the wonderful director of that?
Julie Murphy, lovely lady, very good director, very talented, and you performed with her.
Oh, she's
my
fantastic.
previous show
Yep.
here. Yeah, she's wonderful to work with.
And that's
As are you.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're
Appreciate that. You can. I'll
You can
I'll
me
pay you later.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to interview another
Sure
couple of
thing.
cast members and
Thank
look
you.
forward to it. Can I have one of the young sisters, any of these sisters, Debbie or Patty, or both? Actually, why don't you both come up? Let's do them both. Let's talk about it. Hey, why don't you work on your thing? How do you get here? How do you get here? Come on, ready? On three. Okay, give them a shot. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. This is good. This is great. This is excellent. All right. Okay. I'm going to break you guys up. All right. Now, thank you. All right. That actually worked very well. So can we do that when you guys, when you guys come see the play, you'll find out what that all was all about. So I am here with Linda Slocum, who plays Patty Dombrowski, and I have Amanda Callahan, who plays Debbie Dombrowski. And I know you're also a new cast member coming on board with somebody who couldn't do it. We started the show, when? Can you remember when we first started this?
It was so long ago, I don't even know.
We started the cast December 2019.
Okay.
We started our first rehearsals in January of 2020. We ran all the way up to the middle of March. And then I forget what happened that stopped us from continuing. But
Well, there's a hole in my memory, but
I don't remember what it was, but then there was a little delay, and then we started to re-up again. And we did a bunch of Zoom rehearsals. So let me ask you a question. You've been on this since that time frame. Do you know the story at all?
just a little, I may have a vague recollection of what the story is about.
Yeah, have you done anything different from the first time you read the script to what you're doing now? Do you feel different about anything, about the show or the cast, or not the cast, but the characters?
I don't know that I feel different about the character. The interactions are a little different because some of the actors have changed, so the way that we're interacting is different, but how I feel about the characters hasn't really changed.
Now, you're new to the process, and you joined us through Zoom, and then you got to meet us and you actually came back after a couple of rehearsals, so you must think we're okay. So what do you think about the show so far in the group?
So far, I really like it. This group is very friendly, very inclusive, very welcoming. I definitely like working with everybody. I love how everybody works together to not only develop our individual characters, but to put those characters together and make something even better for the whole of the show.
Well, it's great working with both of you, and I see the sister chemistry brewing, and I see that you guys are working on the facial reactions when you need those facial reactions, and as you can tell, you've been working on how to get on and off the stage in certain ways. So I look forward to doing some rehearsals tonight. We're going to film tonight, and thank you both very much for being part of the show and interviewing tonight. I remember you gave me some notes last night. That was for last night's scene.
No, exactly.
Yeah, Liana took all that stuff. So I'm going to trust you guys know where you're supposed to. Oh, Larry, I love it. One thing we don't have on stage is lighting. We're going to put up our lighting at some other point in time. That is awesome stuff. I'm going to have to get that for everybody in the cast.
be in the episode.
Always my pride and joy. What, was I a good father to you?
All I can say is I don't hold any resentment.
Oh, thank you. Finally, something I expected to hear.
What about your wedding? My wedding. Oh, right. Yes. There is one thing you did.
Now, you just had to open your mouth and add your 2 cents, didn't you?
Why did you refuse to pay for my wedding?
You know very well why. After I found out that you and Tony were living together already, 2 of you unmarried, living in sin. Shame on you.
No offense, but I'm not hypocritical. Done the math. We know Mom was pregnant with Chad Jr. before you were married.
Huh? You've grown into a wise and beautiful woman.
All right, so my comments outside of the jocularity at the end there. Was good. All right, so good job, Bob, on the sitting. You should be talking to them, not me. Chester, I know that you're going back and forth to read the line, so I get that. So, but you're going to be more in front of them, talking to Patty. But I do.
I'll probably get this thing.
Eventually, yeah. I think some point you're not gonna hide behind that anymore. You're not doing the eulogy. It's not you're not giving a lecture or anything. I know it's there for just the ability to hold your script up,
Yep.
which is fine. But I do want Patty and Chester closer to center or stay, yeah, a little bit there, because I want the walk to the seat twice to be a little bit more than just half a step. It's just because of where you are. But it was a good job of making that, so I want to time it as far away as you think you need to be to when you first, I hold no resentment. And then finally, something I wanted to hear. What about your wedding? Oh, yeah, that. So kind of like maybe think about how many steps we need you to have to do that. And then when you go back and you're going to go back and take your seat. And I like the fact that you were just about to sit. I'm not going to sit on anything. Don't worry about it. So, oh, yeah. There is one thing, so milk that from, let the audience know that, okay, you're done. I think, I'm thinking there is something else, and I'm going to have the courage enough to tell you, and then you kind of let it out. Okay, it'll give you something. So with this not here, but I think it's around here, and it'll give you enough space to go back and forth. Right now, it looks like you just go, yeah, well, sit, up, down, go. But that was obviously. Once again, same thing. There's a couple of lines in there that I want you to, I know I'm saying the anti-Joe, faster, 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 but there are some lines that I need you to kind of,
I'm going to slow down.
just a couple of them, mostly the sentimental ones. Let me say that one out there. Where is it?
If it were possible to do over again.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, exactly. Yes, if it was possible to do over again, I would. I've got the Dracula, that kind of thing. And then obviously you did the last one, you made her laugh. Good as a wise and beautiful woman. Okay. I got one question for you that I've been waiting to ask for quite some time. Why did you come back after all this time to be Florence? Because you said we were almost lost you. Remember? We were redeciding it, and we almost lost you because we did the show. It was going to be early September.
Right.
But you were going to
Right,
be away.
and I was
It
going to be away.
Your third anniversary or something like that? You have a special anniversary coming up?
Yeah, over 30.
Over 30, wow. Married at 2. So, no, seriously, one of the reasons I think
And then I'm on vacation for
You're-
those 2 weeks.
but what I'm saying is you are so good, as the rest of the cast is, as playing Florence, that at the readings, when you were reading it, everybody said, we know who our Florence is. So we cannot wait to see. We would not put on the show unless you were Florence. So wanted to thank you very much. But question.
See, that's why I came back. You answered it for me. You wouldn't put on the show without me. You said it, he said it.
I did say it. But I do feel that the chemistry between this cast has been growing and growing and growing, even over Zoom. Do you feel that it was difficult doing Zoom rehearsals? And what do you think the limitations were, other than the fact that you can't see physically what people are doing?
Well, the limitations is it's pretty dead on Zoom. I mean, you have to like recreate a whole new genre to make things work. So rehearsing, it's good to get through the lines, to hear the script. I mean, there's a lot of things you can get out of that, but there's nothing like being in person.
I think we've been here, this is our 4th night in the theater. I think the last 3 nights, we jumped hurdles and hurdles and hurdles of just seeing what I thought was going to happen on stage when we were doing the Zoom. I was writing my notes down, let's try this, let's try that. And then when I actually saw it up on stage, I'm like, that's not going to work, or that's not going to work. And in a lot of, it's just completely different. So what was your take on the character of Florence when you read the script?
This could be fun.
Now, I look at Florence as a cross between Edith Bunker at times, and in some cases the physicality of like the Carol Burnett kind of movements of her dancing and movement. Do you relate to your character to any other character that you've played before?
No, I think this is going to be a new creation.
We gotta get. So Florence has a tendency of bringing more things every night as props. And Florence is now drinking gazillion wine. She's gonna be hammered by you. You're gonna need more than a duty perk.
I was actually thinking of the Debbie character bringing like a little flask or a bottle of wine, actually like tucking in a little shawl or something. Or
It's funny, your prior person who wanted to play Debbie before you wanted to do the same thing, but that's just because she had a problem.
Yeah.
Debbie's just like kind of like a closet alcoholic and nobody really acknowledges it. It's just kind of like a subtle
We don't
thing.
even notice you're in the room, much less are you drinking when you're in
Yeah,
the room.
I mean,
That's your.
I'm angry, borderline alcoholic, yeah.
Grieve, not critique. Well, if it helps you to open up, I will admit that it was suggested that I return. Yeah, a fairly strong suggestion.
I used to get a lot of those strong suggestions in the Navy. Turns out they were called orders. Who knew? So you failed the admissions test, is that it?
In a manner of speaking.
By any chance, is the test multiple choice? I don't remember the names of all the saints.
Oh, that's easy. There's Peter, and then there's Saint Greg. Oh, a Saint Moro, and then there's Saint Mario, and then there's
Saint Mario? Let me guess, that would be the Saint of what? Meatballs?
So Kelly, you are here, and you are our. I guess I will give it away. It's about a week. You and your husband built the coffin.
We did.
You and Peter built the coffin.
Yep, we built the coffin.
So now, what did you think when I came up to you and said, "We're going to need a prop. Can you build a coffin?" And you guys said, "Sure, we can." So,
Yeah.
give me a little bit of background of how it was done.
Well, my husband's a building contractor, and he's retired. And I was actually really thrilled that you asked to do this, because if you didn't, it gave him a project to do, and so therefore he wasn't building yet another room on my house. So it was really cool, actually, and he spent a lot of time. And we had Chester come over and get in and out a couple times and make sure that it was working okay. And yeah.
Now, do you have some pictures of the coffin that you can send me and I can share with Allison so we can show some pictures that you've already taken? I've got a couple.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of pictures of Larry in the coffin.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you have any other snapshots.
I think
if you
I
have
do,
some.
but
Okay.
I got a new phone recently, so I'll have to see if I have them still on my old phone.
All right.
But yeah, and I'll head up to Leominster and because it's being stored in our garage up there.
So Kelly's sitting on my right side. Liana Vicini's also here, and Katrina Lieberger is also helping out. And we're just excited to be back on stage. We're excited to have people come to an audience, be in the audience while we're performing this. So please come on out to see the viewing room on September 23rd, 24th, 25th, or October 1st or 2nd, live at the theater, Marconi's at the VFW. Thank you. Can you hear me? Is this good? Is this good? Does that sound good? We are good. We are live. No, we're not actually. Are we live? You're dead. Larry plays the dead man. Yeah, cool. Okay, so you guys are going to be interviewed tonight, and then you're going to have your rehearsal bits and pieces filmed of it, so you can see how you look up there. So that when you're acting, you can see, why is my hands doing this? Why is my foot like this when I'm standing still? I don't understand. Or why is my back to people when I'm talking to them? There's a couple of things. A couple of things we learned last night, but.